They arrested him on his own porch, and no one cared. Jamal had just come home from work. It was a warm Friday evening, the sky painted in amber and soft pink. Birds chirped lazily. The kind of evening where nothing is supposed to go wrong. He looked tired but calm. His delivery had arrived, a new pair of sneakers he'd been waiting on for weeks. The box sat neatly at the front of his apartment building. Jamal bent down to pick it up, glancing quickly at the label. His name, his address. Everything correct. Across the street, a white woman stood next to her SUV, phone in hand, staring. She didn't smile, didn't wave. She watched him like he was stealing something. She moved half a step behind her door, lifting her phone a little higher, like she was zooming in, not for a picture, for proof. Jamal straightened up and gave her a brief nod. She didn't nod back. He turned, unlocked the front entrance with his key fob, and stepped inside. Less than a minute passed. A police cruiser screeched to a stop in front of the gate. Two officers leaped out, weapons holstered but hands twitching. "Hey, you in the gray hoodie. Step outside, now." Jamal blinked. He was already inside. He opened the door slowly, stepping out into the fading sunlight. "What's the problem?" he asked. "You match the description of a suspect in a porch theft," one officer said, walking toward him. "Description?" Jamal repeated. "I live here. That's my package." "Turn around," the taller officer barked. Jamal didn't move. "No, wait, please, it has my name." "I said turn around." They cuffed him hard, pushed him against the cruiser. The package sat just behind the glass door, unopened, untouched, like it didn't matter. Neighbors walked by. Nobody said anything. No one asked if he was okay. No one asked what happened. No one asked if it was a mistake. Inside the station, no one rushed, no urgency, no concern. They placed him in a holding room. The clock on the wall ticked slow. Officers passed the window, glancing once, maybe twice. No one spoke. One officer mentioned the caller was on her way to ID suspect. Jamal sat still, hands shaking, chest tight. His phone was gone, but his smartwatch buzzed. A message from his mother. "Where are you?" He tapped the screen quickly. "They arrested me. Said I matched a description." She responded almost instantly. "What? I'm coming now. Don't talk to anyone. Don't sign anything." Time passed. More silence. Finally, the door opened. A female officer stepped in. Her face was unreadable. Clipboard in hand. She didn't sit, didn't make eye contact. "Your story checks out," she said flatly. Then she turned to leave. "That was it." "Not we're sorry." "Not you were right." Just those 4 words, like it was a paperwork error. But Jamal knew. This wasn't a mistake. It was a warning. And it wasn't the first. They let him go, but not really. Jamal walked out of the station just after 9 p.m. No charges, no paperwork, no apology. He stepped into the night air like someone waking up from a bad dream, only the world outside didn't feel any different. Just colder. Just quieter. His mother stood by her car in the parking lot, arms folded, face tight. Her eyes scanned him instantly for bruises, cuffs, anything. "Are you okay?" she asked. He nodded. "You sure?" "I'm fine, Ma." They drove home in silence, passing quiet streets and flickering traffic lights. Jamal stared out the window, his reflection blinking back at him. He didn't speak. His thoughts were heavy and sharp. Back at the apartment, the box was still there, right where he'd left it, untouched. He picked it up slowly, turned it over in his hands. The label still showed his name, clear as day. That same label they didn't bother reading. He sat on the couch, box unopened. His phone buzzed. Text from Malik, his coworker. "Heard what happened. You good?" Jamal. They let me go. That's it. Malik. You want to sue or something? Jamal. I just want to sleep. But sleep didn't come. He lay in bed, eyes wide open. Every sound outside felt amplified. Every car engine. Every step in the hallway. Was it happening again? Would it happen tomorrow? The next morning, he got a call from the leasing office. Mr. Taylor, we just wanted to follow up on the incident last night. What incident? He asked. Well, we received a report from one of the residents. She expressed concern. Said someone was behaving suspiciously at the entrance. I live here. We know. But you weren't in our system as receiving a package. She believes someone might have been trying to take one that wasn't theirs. Jamal held his breath. I signed for that delivery myself. Well, we're just relaying what was submitted. She's lying. Silence. We're not accusing you of anything. We just ask that you be more mindful in common areas moving forward. He hung up. More mindful. Of his face, his clothes, his skin. Later that day, a letter was slipped under his door. Notice of lease review. No explanation, just a printed form with a signature line. Something had changed. He could feel it. The air around him felt charged like he was on parole for a crime no one could name. And then, late that night, came the knock. 3 loud, deliberate bangs on the door. He froze. Looked through the peephole. And what he saw didn't make sense. The video that changed everything. Jamal stared through the peephole. It wasn't the police. It was his neighbor, Mr. Ellis. Older, white, retired. He lived 2 doors down. The kind who always nodded politely in the hallway but never said much else. He opened the door cautiously. Mr. Ellis stood there with a USB stick in hand. I saw what happened, he said. Yesterday, the arrest. Jamal didn't respond. I have a camera on my unit. Catches the front steps. Jamal raised an eyebrow. I checked the footage. Thought you might want it. He extended the flash drive. Jamal hesitated, then took it slowly. I don't think you did anything wrong, Mr. Ellis added, almost in a whisper. Thought you should have, proof. Jamal nodded once. When the door closed, he locked it 3 times. The next morning, Jamal loaded the footage onto his laptop. There it was. The full scene in crystal clear 1080p. Him walking up to the building. Him picking up the package. The white woman across the street, watching. Her clearly pulling out her phone. Then minutes later, the police showing up. He watched it again. And again. And again. His hands shook. This wasn't just memory anymore, it was evidence. He sent it to Malik. He sent it to his mother. He almost sent it to the leasing office but stopped. He needed to think. By the afternoon, his story had already reached more ears than he expected. But a girl from HR messaged him. Then a guy from the local NAACP chapter. Then a reporter. The clip started spreading. It was just a few seconds, but it told everything. The worst part? No one stopped the cops. No one stepped in. And the woman who called? She didn't appear in the video again. She disappeared into silence. By the end of the week, Jamal was getting emails from lawyers. One firm offered to represent him pro bono in the pursuit of justice. Another asked if he'd be willing to speak publicly. He didn't feel like a symbol. He didn't feel brave. He just felt tired. And then came the letter. Certified mail. No return address. Typed. Neat. Cold. Withdraw all claims immediately, or footage of your past will be released. We know what you did in college. This will not end well for you. No signature. No logo. But it was clear, someone wanted him quiet. The truth comes at a cost. Jamal stared at the letter, his fingers trembling. They knew about college. They knew about his past. It wasn't criminal, not even close, but it was messy. He'd been suspended once for protesting, for refusing to leave a campus sit-in. His name had made the campus paper. Photos. Headlines. Arguments with campus security. He was 19. Angry, idealistic, unapologetic. Now someone was trying to use that to shut him down. He showed the letter to Malik that night. "Bro," Malik said, shaking his head, "that's not just intimidation. That's a threat. And they're scared." Jamal nodded slowly. "I don't even want to fight," he whispered. "I just wanted to pick up my damn package." The next morning, a news crew was parked down the block. His video had hit local headlines. Black man wrongly detained on his own porch. Security footage contradicts caller's claim. No apology from police. The white woman, the one who called, had still not been identified publicly, but now others were speaking up. A neighbor said she'd seen her do this before, calling the cops on black kids riding scooters. A delivery guy said she once accused him of following her. The leasing office said she had since moved out. But Jamal hadn't moved on. He hadn't slept right in weeks. Every knock on the door made him jump. Every car outside made him look twice. And then 2 days later he found his car keyed. Deep, jagged lines. Letters carved into the paint. LIAR. The police took a report. Said they'd look into it. He didn't expect them to. Then came the court summons. Someone, maybe the woman, maybe someone behind her, had filed a defamation complaint against him. Jamal sat in silence, rereading the letter. He felt the walls closing in again. But this time, something was different. He wasn't alone. His mother, Malik, his community, even strangers online. People were watching now. People cared. He wasn't just another statistic, he was their story now too. He looked at the camera on his phone, opened the video app, and pressed record. His voice was steady, eyes locked on the lens. "My name is Jamal Taylor. I didn't steal anything. I didn't hurt anyone. I picked up a package with my name on it. And that was enough for someone to call the police." He paused. "They wanted me silent. I won't be. Not anymore." The clip went viral. But with every share, every like, every comment, the tension rose. Because behind the scenes, something darker was still moving. And then, one night, just as he was locking his door, he heard footsteps. Heavy, slow, intentional. A shadow moved past the peephole. And someone whispered, just loud enough to hear, "You should have kept your mouth shut."